Thank you for calling Hail Mary Hotline. This is Bridget. Please hold while I transfer you.
Welcome back to Hail Mary Hotline. I'm your host, Taylor.
I'm your host, Sarah.
What a fun weekend.
I know. So much happened. So many SEC matchups.
And a lot of turnover after the weekend, too. I think that's we will get there.
Coming a little late because of a very much needed fall break.
Very much needed.
Very excited for this episode.
But on the bright side, this did give us a little bit more time to, wait and see some of the other developments after this weekend, because there were a lot.
And I think for this week, it's important that we did.
I think so, too. So I guess we'll just go ahead and start off with our Saturday snapshots. What happened at Ole Miss? They only beat Washington State by 3. It was 21-24.
They struggled.
Big time.
Big time. Ole Miss and Washington State. I, for most of the game, thought that Washington State was really going to pull out a win.
I don't have that much faith in Washington State, and I know how Kiffin rolls. I figured Ole Miss was going to come back, but they definitely made it interesting. I kept checking the score. I didn't actually watch this one, but I kept looking at the score, and I was like, oh, Ole Miss is still down. There's only a few more minutes left. I don't know.
They kept it close. They definitely did their homework and their film studies, and they came out, and I don't think there was anybody playing harder in that game than Washington State.
No, I was really hoping they'd win that game.
Oh, yeah.
But it's probably not a bad thing for Georgia that Ole Miss did win, because if they got beat, they would have come out ready to kill somebody next week.
Kiffin might have been ready to kill some of his players. Oh my gosh, he said that despite their number 4 position, looks like they were playing like number 84 after that game, and, quote, our red zone offense showed up like our student section, which they did not.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
It does.
But they still pulled out 439 yards as a team, despite trailing 14-10 until late in the third quarter. And you know what? Yeah, I expected Ole Miss to still win. I just didn't know how by the end of the third quarter.
Yeah.
It was a rough one.
It looks like it.
But, oh my gosh, Washington State, if there's a moral victory,
they got it.
State won.
Yes.
They fought very, very hard for this game, and were not fazed by their 2 time zone difference and flying across the country for this game, which we've seen some teams like Penn State are very fazed by time zones and crossing the country.
Big time.
And definitely scared a top 5 team.
Oh, definitely. I don't think anybody was expecting that game to be as close as it was.
So despite actually losing the game, which unfortunately is all a lot of people are going to look at, I think that they had a win.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just being able to fight the way they did. And then Chambliss, I have written down, he's had really over 300-yard games up until this point. I think that they just had a little bit of an off day, but even an off day for him is 253 yards, 20 for 29, 2 touchdown passes, and 1 rush. So if his bad day is like this, that makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. We'll get there.
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah. So our SEC on SEC matchup starting off. Florida at Texas A&M. A&M won 34-17. This is another one that I didn't really watch, but I know A&M's pretty good.
They're looking great so far. They're still reigning undefeated, and I think that the Texas A&M coach is more than ecstatic about everything that they're doing there. It makes me excited to watch Texas A&M.
Oh, yeah.
More excited to go. Kind of having up all of, I don't know, this excitement to still be in College Station.
Yeah.
But Marcel Reed, I will say, still had a decent game. He went for 234 yards. I think that that's a great number for any quarterback this week.
Absolutely.
And then A&M scored on their first 3 possessions, which is an incredible and a very quick start. I'm, not totally against the idea of seeing them in the SEC championship.
I'm not either. That wouldn't hurt my feelings. It's somebody different. And I saw something this morning, actually. I don't remember what the year was, but it was A&M's highest ranking in a long time. There was a 19. There was a 19 in the number, so it's been at least 25 years. But, I mean, that just says a lot about what Elko's been able to do with this program. And Lagway went 245 yards, 21 for 23, and 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, Florida did put up a little bit of a fight. And this is a Florida team that, snuck up on Texas last week. So it wasn't necessarily a given win. They did still have to fight for it, but they came out strong.
Mm-hmm. I think that's definitely one of the better games that we've seen from Lagway despite their loss.
Yeah.
And do you want to shout their linebacker, Childs, with 9 tackles? I think that's a very important win.
That's a big number.
Yeah, very important win for Florida. Something else about A&M was their 183 rushing yards as a team, and Le'Veon Moss, who we've seen be a real game changer for A&M, did leave halfway through with an injury. He left limping off the field, but still, something I saw looking through all of this for A&M was their defense. Oh my gosh. Allowing 2 of 33 third downs all season.
That is a number.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a defense you're not going to want to run into down the road, especially if they're a playoff team. That is going to be a hard wall to get through.
And A&M is definitely up there. I mean, and it shows Florida, despite being Florida, went 1 for 10 on third downs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Even against Florida, that's still 2 for 33, and nobody can take that away from them.
Yeah. Okay. 4th and 6.
Yeah. Billy Napier made a game time call, and after Florida kind of missed their opportunity in catching an interception from Reed, first play of the fourth quarter, failed to convert a 4th and 6. Field position was atrocious. They were at the midfield. But I don't understand why you wouldn't punt and at least stick them further away instead of
taking the chance to put them at midfield.
Taking the chance to, keep them at midfield.
And you're Florida, so you're going to put them at midfield.
Mm-hmm.
We have it written down in here that he followed the analytics. I think we have seen it doesn't do anything for you.
Billy should have looked at the field position and done what I think any coach in their right mind would have done and just tried to punt and keep them as far away as possible.
There's a time and a place, and 4th and 6 at midfield, unless you're a touchdown down and you have like a minute left in the game, that's a little bit of a different situation. But even then, I still don't know if I'd go for it. I might take my chances and try the field goal. But like,
A&M went on to keep an 8-minute drive after this. So they lost that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And with that decision, I will say Billy Napier's job is very, very at stake.
Yes, I saw today that he's probably out of there by Sunday. Who do they play this weekend? I don't remember.
Miss State at Florida.
Yeah, that's not going to be a cakewalk either. Mississippi State's not bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Miss State is 4-2 right now.
Oh yeah.
They're looking better than Florida.
That they are. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I think if it's even close, Billy's going to be gone. Yeah.
I think in the next 2 or 3 weeks, if not this weekend, we're going to see some coaching changes at Florida. Red River Rivalry, Oklahoma and Texas. I wanted so badly for Oklahoma to win.
I did too. But they looked terrible. And Mateer was playing hurt, and you could tell.
He was 17 days post-hand surgery. So
I think he pushed himself too hard.
I think so.
Sometimes you got to take the recovery timeline. And, like, there's a time and a place for pushing yourself to try to get better and get stronger, but I don't think this was it.
Surgery on your throwing hand, too.
Yeah.
And those 3 interceptions kind of proved it.
Yeah.
Surgery after 17 days and on your throwing hand as...
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think what we've seen is kind of confirmation from... I mentioned it earlier in the season, but kind of what is Oklahoma without Mateer? And
not much.
They're kind of a one-man band right now. It's kind of what we've seen with them against Texas. But I think that this is definitely one of the better games that we've seen from Manning.
Oh, absolutely.
So
he's starting to look like the Manning that everybody said he was going to be. I don't think he's there yet. I think that he has a little bit more potential now, though.
No, 23-6. I wanted that to be much more of a game, I will say. Texas gets to keep their Golden Hat trophy. Sark said that they learned how to fight this game, and I think that definitely held up. Not with just the score, but if you watched any bit of it. A 75-yard punt return for a touchdown by Ryan Niblett is definitely the story of the Texas team this weekend. And 7 straight third down conversions.
That's also really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have written down Weisner, who, if you're a Georgia fan, you don't love.
No.
I have Bouncy in my notes because if you look at what he was able to do in a lot of carries from behind the line, not as many throws, even if he had to like deter and go around the offensive line or whatever was happening around the box, he aimed and then he cut. So there was no chance that he was wanting to be followed by
Anybody
on the defense. So that's kind of what I had. He followed his aim like anybody's supposed to do when you have your routes, and then just put bounce to the outside, bounce on the crease, and get all of the carries. So, I mean, as a Georgia fan, I obviously don't love him, but
no, but you can't deny
the 22 carries for 94 yards. He still had one heck of a game.
That he did. Yeah. And I mean, Manning was 166 yards, 21 for 27 and a touchdown. That's better numbers than Texas fans have seen from him all season.
Mm-hmm. So I don't think anybody can be upset with that at all.
No. Wasn't it 6-6 at halftime?
Yeah.
It was a close game up until really like end of the third quarter, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas really stepped up second half, which is a very Georgia thing to do, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Go down the line. Alabama at Mizzou. Man, I was hoping Mizzou would pull that out, but Bama won 27-24.
I was glued to this game. Glued.
They had the chance. They just...
They were so close.
They were so close.
I will say nobody has rivaled the Alabama offensive line the way that Mizzou did
No.
this weekend. They looked incredible.
They put a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah. They also definitely did their homework and put the right people up front.
Yes, they did.
To do.
Georgia should take notes. But yeah, Ty Simpson, 200 yards, 23 for 31, and 3 touchdowns. That's hard to beat. It really is. And I think Bama missed a field goal, too. So, like, it's very Bama of them to do. But still, Mizzou had the opportunity. Bama is just, I think they figured their offense out after that loss to Ole Miss, and they kind of, not Ole Miss, FSU, wow. But they figured out kind of who their team is, where they're going, and they're team to be contended with now, which is scary.
Moving on to our big fight of the weekend, our Bulldog Brief, Georgia at Auburn, 20-10. I think what fans were really hoping, from what I saw and kind of what I expected to be like a 27-17 game, a 27-10 game, expected it to still be close, but a little over by a touchdown.
Not that close. My dad told me when I got home for fall break, he said weird things happen at Auburn at night. I was like, okay. But, I mean, him and some of his friends said, I expect to lose this game. Just, I can't explain it, but weird things happen in Auburn at night, and I don't think this game is going to go well for us. And it didn't at all.
I mean, Saban will tell you.
Oh, yeah.
That field was cursed.
That field was cursed. But, first half, where?
I don't even think we were in Auburn.
I don't think we were either. It just baffles me. Like, how consistently, week after week, we do not show up until the second half. I cannot understand how, like, defense just does not cover. No pressure on the quarterback whatsoever. That's what bothers me, is Auburn is leading the nation in sacks allowed, and we put 0 pressure on Arnold. All first half. And we didn't really put that much on him in the second half either. Our defense just kind of played a little bit better.
No, but I think Auburn's offense kind of did it for themselves in the second half, and we'll get to that. I have a little more written down for, of course, Georgia's offense and Auburn's defense, because I think that's where the real game was.
Oh, yeah.
Is when we both played, I'll say, our side of the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at it just off the bat, we had some horrible numbers.
Also like to point out, Auburn had 11 penalties for 103 yards.
Yeah, and I'll say, okay, just because I've seen it while we're on penalties, the one targeting call that got the Auburn player ejected when his helmet came off, if you hit crown down to anywhere on a player, especially shoulder and heads up, after the ball has left the hands, that's roughing the quarterback. So if not a targeting call,
that's still a big penalty.
That's still a big penalty. But if your helmet comes off and you hit with the crown of your head, you deserve to get ejected.
If you look up targeting in the dictionary, that is the image that pops up. Yeah. Like, it's, you hit him so hard that he went flying back. No part of him was on the ground, and he slammed back of his helmet into the ground. I don't care if that was our player hitting Arnold like that. That is a targeting call. And he was pitching a fit about it on the sideline, too. Yeah. And I'm like, have you never seen a targeting call ever? And they missed a targeting call on Georgia, too. Georgia, I don't remember who it was, but he led with the crown of his head and hit somebody, too, and they missed that one. And, like, if they had thrown him out, that wouldn't have bothered me. I would have said, you know what? Yeah, that's target. It's, like, the worst officiated game I think I've ever seen. the rushing yard number, it's really low for a Georgia team because we've been consistently putting up, I feel like, 150, 200 rushing yards a game, and 79 is pretty atrocious.
Yeah.
Especially for the caliber of running backs that we have and how well they've been doing the last few weeks. But Frazier did have a better game.
He was tripping over something. He was falling over a little bit.
Turf monster.
I think that he got in his head and he was, rushing a little bit. And I think he needed to calm down, take a deep breath, take a step back.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't have called him to carry on a few of those.
I agree. I think we overused him. I think there were a few plays where we would have been better off putting Bowens or McCray back in there because I feel like they run harder and get maybe just one more yard per play, but it adds up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still think that there should have been a few other personnel choices. I'm not mad at what Frazier did, honestly. I just think with this season, I wouldn't have called him for all of those. I think I would have saved him for maybe like a 3rd and 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Not as much to get, but you want the dirty yards. Maybe then I'd stick Frazier back in, but for the big ones, I'd probably put Bowens or McCray back in where I don't think we saw as much of them.
I know. Game. I will say, though, play calling was much better this week. Mm-hmm. We did not execute, but I liked the play calling a lot better. There were only maybe 2 or 3 times all game where I looked at our choice in play and thought, what are we doing here? Which, major improvement.
Yeah.
But, the reverse that he tried to call,
yeah.
If that had been executed, that was a touchdown.
I really like the creativity that we saw this week.
I did too.
This was a good opportunity to kind of test the waters before we go to Ole Miss, which is probably what he was trying to do. I think that the way that we executed did not do the play calling justice.
No.
Because I loved what we saw. I think that we could have adjusted a little bit, and I have it in my notes just for Gunner. Because although I will say this is one of the best throwing games that I've seen from him, I think that he showed a little bit more confidence in wanting to throw. But he's not, who is it? I think I've seen Manning a little bit. We talked about it early on. Has, a weird...
sidearm, almost.
He can sidearm, and he can hook the ball. He can sling it. Gunner is a ripper, though. He will just throw as hard as he can, wherever he can. He can't, I'll say sling the ball in the way that some of the other quarterbacks can. And I think that in that instance, at least with what we saw from the defensive line and what we were fighting, the plays would have executed a lot better if he could throw around it in that way.
He's not the best at throwing on the run like some of these other quarterbacks are, but I think that's something else that just kind of comes with time and experience. But you can tell that he's getting more confident every time that he plays. Mm-hmm. You can see his leadership too. So I've been honestly, he's grown on me. I wasn't totally sold on him at the beginning of the season, but that's my QB. Mm-hmm. But CJ Allen, defense, kind of shifting gears a little bit, but East-West Shrine Bowl Defensive Player of the Week, 10 tackles and a sack.
Yeah, wow. As far as our defense looked, CJ Allen is our one and only saving grace.
That was a massive sack too. Mm-hmm. Arnold never even saw him coming. He just broke through the line and he went and got him in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It was huge. Oh, yeah, he did. You could see it, too. He was fired up.
That fire, passion, and energy that Kirby likes to say that we need on this team, and I think he definitely brought it.
Yes. He's definitely our standout on defense this year.
100%. And I think, speaking of defense, I think Auburn's defense is really the only story of this game for them. As much as I would love to sit here and probably berate their second half offense, I don't think that it's all right because that fumble absolutely ruined the game for them.
Yes.
But Auburn's defense, I feel like we do have to
absolutely
an award. Oh my gosh, their nose tackle does not get a day off.
No, never.
Please get off my field. Oh my gosh, the way they doubled up, and Bobo and our left guard struggled a little bit. I will say this is definitely I'll say a better game that our offensive line has had, despite some injuries.
Yeah.
They played a little bit quicker. They defended a little bit better. But a creaseless game, which if you're the O-line, that's part of the main job for your tight ends and your running backs is to create a crease, and we could not get around it because guess what? Their nose tackle was in it.
Yep. Every time. Hence why we only have 79 rushing yards.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, there's 7 walk-up. They did them some freaking homework, and they had, I think they only actually had 5 rush, but they would have 7 walk up and 2, kind of fall back a little bit, and it worked.
It did.
It threw somebody off. I have number 17 and number 15 specifically in my notes. Rayon Strader, defensive back, 6 solo tackles. And he definitely earned that spot.
Yeah.
Because if you see him, the way that he destroyed our play calling, oh my gosh, he read us like no tomorrow, and he is one of the fastest people that I've seen. Please get off my field.
Yeah, please. Please, please, please.
And number 15, just like a freak of a football player.
Yeah.
They're
just nine solo tackles.
Yeah. 10 total. And it was part of a capped coverage, which is you learn something new every day. Something that I learned the term for. And for those that don't know, it's typically set up with a nickel back, so you have an extra defensive back, and then you have a deep safety stacking right on top of them to replace for a nickel blitz. And oh my gosh, if I see that one more time, I'm going to see it in my nightmares.
I fear we're going to see that this weekend, because Ole Miss is going to look at the film and say, what did Auburn do right?
Caps coverage.
And
I will say, like, total credit to their defensive coordinator, because that was such a smart thing to call, and I have never seen a smarter defense, I think, against us.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
They're losing games is not for lack of defense.
No, absolutely not.
Defense deserves to be 3-0. I'll say that's the credit I'm going to give to Auburn.
Their offensive line is what needs the work. I think that's what's costing them a lot of their games.
Yeah, I think that also just some of Arnold's decisions, and I will say shout out Arnold for deciding to wake up and throw this weekend. But their offense is what needs. Their offense is 0-3, but their defense
is 3-0.
Deserves to be 3-0.
Yeah. Now, I guess we'll get to the elephant in the room. The fumble. I have a lot to say on this one, personally.
All right, why don't you start us off then?
If you don't fumble the ball, it's not a problem. And you can say all you want that it crossed the plane, but it was already coming out of his arm when it did cross the plane. And that is a fumble. And a good team takes a call like that and says, you know what? That sucks, but we're going to play harder the rest of the game and prove that this call does not define who we are as a team. And I feel like they don't do that. I feel like that has been done all season for them. They just sit there and whine, oh, well, we get screwed over by the refs. Okay, well, do something about it. Play better football and show that the refs do not make the game decisions for you.
I just want to point out that Jackson Arnold came after the game and said that the fumble call did not affect them.
Maybe we go back and think about this again.
Maybe we look at a 14-play drive for only 15 yards and think again. That was bad.
That was terrible. It just, like, I get it. Refs can be terrible sometimes. And, like, I do understand that you had a non-call so bad that the SEC literally issued you an apology. But at some point, you can only use that so much. And when this play literally changed the entire game for you, like, you could see the Auburn sideline, how much it just deflated them and their energy and their, like, motivation. And it looked like they didn't even want to be there anymore because they felt so cheated by that call. And, like, you know what? I get it. The officiating was actually terrible. But, Georgia got a terrible call in the Texas game last year, too. And you know what we did? We went out and won that game.
Because that's what you do.
That's what you do. You don't sit there and whine, oh, the refs hate us, the refs are in Georgia's pocket. Like, no! You go out there and you play better football and you show that it doesn't matter. I
will say all the AI videos, though, about, like, a hairy dog going to a Waffle House parking lot to pay the refs, they're kind of funny.
They are really funny. What do you want them to do? If you call it a touchdown, then Georgia fans are going to be upset. If you call it a fumble, Auburn fans are going to be upset. And Georgia should have had a touchdown on that because the refs never blew the whistle. Georgia player picked it up and ran it all the way back downfield. So it should have been either 17-0 or 10-7, and it was neither.
Yeah.
So Georgia also got robbed of a touchdown, but we're not talking about that.
And I think, honestly, no points being awarded is the best and only scenario that really could have come from that.
It really is.
It was a fumble and it was still a live ball.
Yeah.
So somebody somewhere got cheated out of a touchdown, and even if they wanted that back, it wouldn't have changed the final score. They still lost.
Yeah, it did. So yeah.
Yeah, James and I probably spent 30 minutes looking at, replays of that, screenshots. Everybody will see the one, and I'll put it up here for anybody who's watching on YouTube. but of the red line drawn.
Yeah, the red
at the
line.
front of the plane. And all that has to happen for a touchdown is for the nose of the ball to cross the plane. The number one thing is ball security. If the ball's not secure, it's a fumble.
Yes, it is.
No matter what world you're in. So, CJ Allen did his job when he punched it out, but there wasn't that, like, he didn't have to work that hard for it.
No, it was already starting to come loose before he even got there.
It was gone.
Like, you could see, like, he was holding it in just, like, such an awkward way that it really didn't take anything at all. And you have control of the ball, and it's not a problem.
Even if CJ Allen didn't punch it out of his hands,
I think it would have come loose
I think it would
anyway.
have rolled out.
Yeah.
And that still would have been a fumble at the goal line.
It would have.
And anybody who catches in the end zone will tell you, if you have it for a second and you drop it, that's still an incomplete pass. You don't get the touchdown.
Nope.
So it still is a fumble, even if CJ Allen didn't punch it out. I can see where everybody's arguing both ways because it does look like the nose of the football is crossed a little bit. Yeah. It just I think that's all that we can and will say about that. And I think Kirby's next. Okay, in his defense, there was a deep Auburn safety clapping, which is illegal. He's supposed to get a penalty for that and didn't.
But when you run up to the refs doing the timeout call and essentially gaslight the refs and say, no, I didn't call timeout, and they don't charge you a timeout or get a penalty for it.
Yeah. And if you watch the game footage, he is yelling at the refs that they're clapping. And he does, and he claps for a minute, but
then he goes
the refs like this. So to anybody who's ever seen 30 seconds of football, that's a timeout. So to any ref, I'm sure, yes, was trying to get awarded a timeout with like a second left on the clock.
Yeah,
it was why it was such an awkward thing.
Yeah.
But the Auburn player was still clapping. Didn't get called for that. We still did not get a timeout taken away from us. Which
We
was
should have.
Horrible call by the refs. And we didn't get a delay of game either.
Also a horrible call by the refs.
So,
like, at the very least, we should have been either charged a timeout or given a delay of game penalty, or both. I mean, you know what? It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
right, well, I think those two calls were a lot of the talk about this game. I don't think there was much else going on. Any final thoughts, leaving?
I think that's about all I got. It was just weird. It was just weird. So I guess moving on to our SEC rundown, we only have 2 undefeated SEC teams. Texas A&M and Ole Miss. Really hoping Ole Miss changes after this weekend.
Yeah.
We shall see. But Alabama is also undefeated in conference play. So, because they took down Missouri this past weekend.
But they're still not undefeated overall. So
no, they're not. Thank you, FSU.
In our notes.
No, they don't. No trophy. And then, the bottom of the barrel with the big red X's of shame. Yeah. Unwinning in conference play. Mississippi State, Arkansas, Auburn, and Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was just something I wanted to note, kind of as we're moving away from our undefeated teams. We had, I'll say, a very big week for the SEC matchup-wise, and I think that the next 2 or 3 weeks are going to look just about the same.
I think they are. Speaking of, not SEC, but the Holy War is this weekend.
Utah, BYU.
Yay! This is unironically one of my favorite games. I love this game. And then the big one, Ole Miss is at Georgia this weekend. Game day's going to be there. It's going to be fun.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited. And then third weekend in October, Tennessee at Bama, night game. That's going to be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really hoping for the Meteor on this one. That's our official pick here at Hail Mary Hotline. Yeah. But
always the Meteor when you see these two teams. But I am very excited to leave Georgia Ole Miss, hopefully off of a win.
Hopefully. And watch this.
To watch Tennessee and Alabama.
It's a good game. It's always a fun one.
It is.
Yes. And then USC at Notre Dame could be a decent game. We'll see. Missouri at Auburn. And then I would like to point out, LSU is at Vandy this weekend, and Vandy is a 2.5-point favorite.
Go Vandy!
Go Vandy! Beat the Tigers.
Yes.
Please. So, I guess our biggest news of the weekend.
The coaching changes that I think we've been asking for have finally come to pass because James Franklin was fired this week.
Bye-bye, Franklin.
Bye-bye, Franklin.
I mean, I think I sent it to you that 15 days before he got fired, he was sitting on game day with Saban, like talking about his program, and then 15 days later, he's out of a job.
Yeah, the whiteout was 15 days ago.
Yeah.
So
for reference, that's
that's 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks.
That 2-week turnaround was enough to end his career.
It was, but you get beat by unwinning UCLA and Northwestern.
And this, oh my gosh, this $50 million buyout.
Wow.
Insane. But when you give 12 years of your life to this guy, I guess that makes sense.
I guess it does.
But it is part of the contract we talked about a little bit earlier before recording that Franklin does have to look for another job per his contract. And if he can get one, then Penn State doesn't have to owe him $50 million. They just owe him the difference of his new contract.
Yeah.
So, big chance for Penn State to save themselves probably $30 million.
Probably something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw somebody posted like his buyout like timeline. He's making 25 cents a second right now.
Yeah.
By being a fired football coach.
I've seen so many jokes. Best job in the world is a fired college football coach for things like this. Still not rivaling though. I think it's Texas A&M who has the biggest buyout ever, around $79 million. Can't remember the coach it was for, but
Jimbo Fisher.
Oh, Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although Mike Norvell at FSU has a big buyout too, and I think he's going to be gone.
Yeah.
Before probably the end of the season. I was talking to my friend who's a big Florida State guy. I think it's up there. It's bigger than Franklin's. I don't remember what the number was, but it's like a massive buyout, and I think they're about ready to pay it.
Yeah. And I think Florida is putting their ducks in a row to pay their buyout this week.
Although compared to Franklin, that's rookie numbers. It's only what, like 20 million at Florida? Only.
Something like his win record. Something around.
Yeah.
You know, when you're 20,
might be bigger.
22.
Yeah.
A little bigger than that, but
Yeah.
still, yeah, I did see that some of the other coaches were meeting with some boosters this week and talking about kind of his transition. So thinking very strongly by Sunday. If not, I'm still kind of banging the next 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see Billy Napier transition out of Florida.
He will not be there come 2026. No.
And I saw Lagway just kind of as I was reading through like post-game interviews and that kind of thing, saying how sick he is of the losing.
That's rich coming from him. Don't throw 5 interceptions in a game.
Yeah. He said, I can't go on like this. Like, we gotta fix it. Talking about losing. I'm like, okay. Well, coaching is only half the problem. He's not on the actual field.
UCLA kind of diminishes that argument a little bit.
Oh, yeah. With their turnaround?
Oh, yeah. But yes.
Billy
At
Napier's
Florida,
not the one throwing interceptions.
No,
and
he's
taking
not.
sacks,
No, he's not. Yeah. And then another head coach fired. Oregon State fired their head coach, Trent Bryan. 0-7 start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd get out of that too.
I think I would too. That's a real toxic relationship right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Auburn running back Tamari Alston was also either dismissed or
I
left.
think he was dismissed, which is interesting. That's not one I've seen in a while. And Texas dismissed somebody too. I saw that today. I meant to send it to you and I didn't. But Hugh Freeze just said he didn't meet the standards of the program, which, like, what does that mean?
And when Arnold was asked about it, he said he didn't have enough details from coach or from Damari to talk about it. You know, said he has all the love in the world for the guy, but doesn't know enough about the situation. So I don't know. I just think it's interesting.
It's really interesting.
After this weekend.
Yeah.
I guess.
Hey, Bridget.
Hi, guys. How's everything going?
A lot of football this weekend.
And an amazing weekend of football.
Yes, lots and lots of football. Unfortunately, I did not watch a lot of said football. I was farming. It was interesting. It was a lot of fun. But, like, you know, football I can understand being equally as important.
You have a lot of things this week.
I do. I'm so excited. Like, I actually get to delve into things this week. Like, this is really exciting. People were actually being goofy, and it makes me happy. People were being people, guys.
Yay!
Yay! So exciting. I mean, to begin with, we have Texas Tech and Kansas were fined for throwing tortillas. Didn't this happen last week, too?
It happened a couple weeks ago, and
Okay.
they were given a warning, but they just didn't listen. So they each have to pay 25 grand.
$25 grand for throwing tortillas?
Not as much as storming a field.
No. So
Hey.
realistically, you'll take the tortillas over the field storming.
And realistically, they're saving money.
Exactly. Girl math.
Retaliate in an economically. Thank you. Economically, I apologize. My brain is like fried today. Economically friendly way. Way to retaliate.
And they're biodegradable.
They are. See, and if it rains, then they'll just biodegrade in general. You're feeding the squirrels.
Yeah.
See,
Environmentally conscious.
it is.
Yes.
Environmentally conscious. Yes.
Feed the Ole Miss squirrels.
Feed
Yes.
squirrels.
The squirrel bear sharks.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Get them to come back and don't drag them off this time. We like the squirrel. Keep them around. And then we have Bowling Green and Toledo. Their game. Apparently Toledo had a rocket aimed directly at the 50-yard line of Bowling Green's University Stadium.
College football.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your mind cannot
Comprehend.
Having a missile
Pointed at your
Pointed
rival's
at
field.
Rival's field. This is Cold War to a different level.
Yes.
That's insane. I gotta look at this. It's cool. I want a rocket to shoot at my enemies. I think that'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Not really, though. Violence is not condoned here on Hail Mary Hotline.
Unless it's against Tennessee.
Unless it's against Tennessee.
Or
Then
Alabama.
maybe-
Or Alabama.
Or Texas.
Actually, we may have a list.
Yeah.
What? No.
What?
Peaceful people.
Anything that wears orange is on.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Team that wears orange. Yep.
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 Uh-huh.
There will be no supporting the orange here.
No.
Friends don't let friends wear orange.
No, they
No,
don't.
they don't.
No.
It's
Because nobody looks
It's
good in
just
orange.
Not a good color.
No.
It's not, but that's okay. So, and I mean, now not speaking of an orange team, but USF had a really fun kind of theme day where they recorded their score in their game on anything but a camera. So there was like a trail camera used, a Ring doorbell, that might be my personal favorite, and then a DS. They used a Nintendo DS to record their game.
That
I think
one's
that
fun.
one's my favorite.
I'm with you.
I was gonna say, I think that's awesome. Bringing
really
back
cool.
the childhood there and everything. And the Nokia, I think you said that.
Yes.
Some really, really poor footage that these players are gonna get of their plays. But you know what? That's okay. It made it
Yeah.
entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know they won, right?
They
So
did.
They did.
that's
They
good. That
did.
would really suck. But I mean, I guess if they lost, they could always just delete the stuff because it wouldn't actually be on a legit camera.
True.
So see, but they
Yeah.
won. So now they have the fun memories from this little theme day that they have. So that's great. And then finally, my favorite of the day, the Oregon Duck. Wow. I mean, I commend whoever is in that Oregon Duck suit because all kinds of fun things happened with him this weekend. The 1st thing is that he took a shower on game day, right? Like in the background. He was acting like he was like, "Oh my gosh, like I need privacy. Someone opened the screen," and it's just this big stuffed animal duck mascot that is like trying to act indecent. And I'm like, bro, what is going on? You're a duck. Go swim away. Swim away. Fly away. He's not a flightless bird. Petition for a hang glider for the Oregon Duck.
Oh, fly over.
Fly over. Yes. I think that's a great idea. Fantastic. Get him one of those like signs that he does too. I thought those were quite fun.
Yeah.
Where he holds those up. It's like a guy with a sign in the back, but it's the Oregon Duck and just all these random comments on his signs that he has to share with people. I think it's fantastic. And then this past weekend, not only did he shower in public, but he also decided to come out on the field as Michael Jackson in a whole new costume, which I thought was pretty cool. Started dancing. I think the Oregon Duck might be added onto my out-of-pocket spirit animals.
Definitely.
That's a good one.
I love it. I think I would love to channel the Oregon Duck on a daily basis. I think that would be fantastic.
Oregon Duck is living the high life.
He is.
He is. He really is. So, okay, well, with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in today to Hail Mary Hotline. This is your host, Bridget.
This is your host, Taylor.
And this is your host, Sarah.
Go Dogs!
Big Aggies.